Okay, let me start because it's giving me some streaming problems. Okay, let me start. Okay, the topic for tonight's live stream is the criteria for being a human. That's right. You see, the biggest mistake I keep making is I keep forgetting sometimes that just because people look like people per se, just because they have legs, two arms, a head, a body. My biggest mistake is sometimes, even though with all of this information I know, sometimes I still wind up conversating with people. And I keep having to tell myself that me conversating with people is not because I don't know that these people are HPBs. It's because it's because since a child we came up as social creatures, right? And we learn how to maneuver through this world by communicating with people. So the part of me sometimes still communicates with people. And that's the part that I want to speak about tonight. We got to break the habit of communicating with HPBs, period. You see, I do it sometimes as well. It's a part of me that's still connected to like my early childhood before I knew about HPBs and everything. That part of my brain is still activated. And sometimes we still speak to these people because since a child, before you came into this information, that's all you've known. Before you realized that this was the HPB realm and everything, that's what you used to. It's like a habit. You've been doing it all your life. And then when we obtain the information about the human prison bar realm and HPBs and everything, that old habit, which was instilled in us since childhood, the habit of just speaking to everybody and just being friendly and everything, that's still in our human nature. But that part of our nature, it's our old nature. What we introduce on this channel is a new nature that we must live by. We got to get rid of that old man and start walking in that new man. That new man is to separate ourselves from them, to not speak to them. Don't even speak to them. Have as less communication with them as possible. So that's like one of the biggest mistakes I make sometimes. And I'd say it's a mistake, and I honestly mean that because it's habit. You see somebody and you greet them, you say, hey, it's like you go into like small conversations with people. It's habit. It's something that we carry from childhood. You see? So what I'm saying to you is in this new walk that we are engaging in, we have to discipline ourselves and constantly remind ourselves that just because these people look like so-called humans, they are not humans. Now we're about to get into the meat of tonight's live stream, and I'm about to back up that last statement that I just made. Just because these people look like so-called humans, that don't mean they are humans. Now, for those who just enter the live stream, let me give some shout outs. Then we're going to get into the meat of tonight's subject. Let me give some shout outs. All right. Let's see. We got Ocho. What up? Jaded. Chronos the Infinite. Been showing up to all the live streams. This is like roll call to the classroom. I'm saying who absent And I'm saying who was in here. We got Kronos, a loyal Jaguar. We got Super Ninja Kenny. He said he only 4 minutes late. It's all right, Ken. We just getting started. You all good. Who else? We got Kundalini in the building. We got Rav Fruit. What up, Rav Fruit? You changed your name. I remember you used to have a different YouTube name. Dude Solitude. You retracted a message, I see. Dude Solitude, we don't call them organic portals. Now, on some of my older videos, you will see that I called them organic portals, but I stopped calling them that because when you think about it, everybody is a portal, okay? So that's why I changed the name from organic, which I didn't come up with that terminology. That's why I changed it to something that's better fitting. I just call it a human prison bar, because everybody is an organic portal. I'm a portal, you a portal. The word organic itself means just natural, like organic. So I say human prison bar now because it gives more of a fuller meaning, and it creates a distinction between us and them, because everybody is a organic portal. But nevertheless, if you see some of the old videos and I'm using the terminology organic portal, you know I mean HPB. So that's just a little correction. All right, let me finish with the shout outs. Okay, I think that's everybody. Chris the Realist, what's good? Chris the Realist, what's good? All right, now back to what I was saying. Just because these people look like humans and they got arms and legs and everything, that don't mean they like us, okay? Because the criteria for being a human is this right here. A human can pick up on spiritual information. A human has the ability to distinguish from the living and the dead. And I don't mean literally, I mean spiritually. These are the criteria of a human. A human can receive spiritual insights. So what do we say? A human can discern from the living and the dead. A human can receive spiritual insights. And a human has the ability to understand high-grade spiritual information. That's what a human is. So just because you see people communicating out here, you see, when you see these HPBs speaking to each other, they communicating like animals, basically. See, these non-humans who appear like us, they are just a higher form of apes. They are a higher form of apes. Okay? So, because I'll be thinking sometimes, like when I see a lot of women and stuff, I know they notice me just like I notice them. But then when you speak to them, you realize that it's something missing inside of them. No, I'm not going to say it's something missing inside of them. They are created to be what they are. They're not missing anything. That's another thing we got to stop saying. They're not missing anything. They are what they are. And we are what we are. It's not that they're missing anything. So I notice a lot of times, like when I just see certain people, what was I talking about? Like females, for instance, like you may notice her and she may notice you, and you think she looks good and vice versa, and you'll go step up to her, right? I do this sometimes. You might just talk to a female or whatever, but then you realize that it's something that's not right, and that's something that you feel that's not right. The reason why there is no connection, because how can you connect with an animal? You see what I'm saying? These so-called humans, they just skinless apes. They have a little bit more cognitive ability than monkeys. They can do, they can perform more sophisticated tasks. They can sit in front of a computer and type out sentences and what else and whatever. They can operate machinery at a higher level than apes, but they lack a higher grade spirit just like an ape does. It's just that they look and appear more like human beings with souls. But in essence, they don't have any souls. And in essence, they are just what they are. They animals. So this human prison bar kingdom is a zoo, basically. You are living in a zoo with zoo animals who appear like they are humans. So when you go on your job and your manager is telling you what to do, guess what? That's the equivalent of like a dog in front of you barking and telling you what to do. Roof, 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 go over there and do this. Roof, roof, roof. That's what it is. You actually taking orders from a dog. These are animals. That's exactly what it is. Because we live in a zoo, man. This is a zoo world. Forget calling it the New World Order. We're going to start calling it the Zoo World Order. Because these are animals out here. You see, these people, they don't think on a higher level of spirituality. Just like an animal. You can't sit down and have a spiritual conversation with a monkey. Just like you can't have a high level conversation with these so-called humans. Because they don't have it inside of them. And y'all keep thinking that they do, but they don't. They don't. Just because they can drive a car, that don't mean anything. You can dress a monkey up like a man, put a suit and a tie around his neck and put him behind a car steering wheel. And I'm pretty sure that with enough training, he can press the gas too and make the car move. So you're going to call him a human with a soul? You see what I'm saying? So that's why, and this is another thing. The reason why people like us don't connect with these people, because, and I'll repeat, they are animals, right? But it's another type of language that animals read. And thank you, Spirit, for giving me this. Animals also, they read body language. Okay? So the reason why we don't connect with these people, we may be saying words out of our mouth, but they can look at our body language. You be doing body language, little body language signs and stuff when you speaking to people and don't even realize it. But their subconscious brain and your subconscious brain can pick up the different motions and face gestures that they make, just like an animal can. An animal in the jungle is reading body language. It's looking at the face of the other animal. That's why they say don't stare a wild animal in the face, because they can pick up if you're afraid, or they may take a facial gesture that you make as something threatful. You see? So it's the same thing with these people out here. These non-soul, so-called humans, HPBs, when you speaking to them, we speak with another kind of body language. Okay? They speak with a different kind of body language. So not only do we not connect in the communication, the verbal communication, we also disconnect with them in the body language. We give off a different body language than them. So our whole way of doing things is different from them. Even on the little intricate levels like I just explained. Little things you don't pick up or notice. They have different mannerisms than us. They have different lexicon and speech than we do. They totally different, man. They don't have the same kind of dreams we have. I bet you if we really, really study these people, their heart rate is different from ours. I'm telling you, man. I bet you if we really did a study, their DNA structure is even different than ours. But it's on an intricate level. You see? So that's why they can get away with it, because you gotta have real sharp senses to detect what I'm saying. And I've been studying this stuff for a while. So these people, and you know what else? Their blood types are different. But that's a whole nother subject when you get into blood types. So everything I'll be telling you on this channel is real. This is not no fiction. This is not no play. This is 100% real. This is not no saying or just us wasting time just doing a live stream for no reason. No. This information has to be put out. Because everywhere in this universe, there is space and room for everything. And this is the space and room for putting out this kind of information, this left side of the brain channel. Okay? Now, let me give some more shout outs. Let's see who else in the building. Let's see. Anybody else come in? J Dubs, what up? Discover Yourself, what up? Jags up. The Kid Cody, what's good with you, man? We speak a lot. And you on the Instagram, so shout outs to Cody. Aaron Haywood, how you doing, man? We spoke a few times. Hey, Aaron, I don't know if you added us on Instagram yet, but go ahead and do that. Frank Henderson, you must be new, Frank. Anyway, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Earth Hard Compass, you know I'm used to you. What's good, man? Joey G, you a regular? How you doing? A lot of regulars in the house, and that's good, man. That's good. I like to see that. The devoted regulars are in the house. All right. Okay, before I get back into it, we got 18 people in the house tonight, but we only got 6 likes. So everybody that hasn't hit the like button, like Amos, what's up, Amos? You just got into the live stream. Go ahead and hit the likes button. Everybody hit the likes button. So we got 7 likes. It's 18 people in the house. So everybody who hasn't hit the likes button, hit the likes button. The importance of hitting the likes button is you get the ratings up on the YouTube platform, and then they promote the channel more. That's why it's important to hit the likes button. 11 people hit the likes button. 6 more people left. Hit the likes button. What's taking y'all so long? Hit the likes button. Now, see, the thing is, we've been taking it for granted for so long, man. But you didn't know. I mean, it's no whip on your back or anything like that. You didn't know. You see, but that's why I'm telling you now. Like, we are different from these people down to the cells and molecules. I'm telling you, it's like a handful of real humans on this earth. Just a handful. The rest of everybody is just hybrids, man. They not real. And this is another thing. As people continue to procreate on this earth, you see, as more of us with souls, it's not too many people with souls who are actually having children. Most of the people that's having children are soulless people. Okay? So what has happened is the little soul that was left in the planet is dying out. We are going extinct on this planet. Okay? And I got a chapter in the book, and it's called God's Nightmare. I got a chapter in the book. It's called God's Nightmare. And kind of spilling the beans, but I'm going to just go ahead and say it. We are living in a state of induced spiritual comatose. Everything is mental. That's metaphysics 101. Everything is mental. Everything is taking place inside of the mind. So I call this thing God's nightmare because until we fully wake up out of this, this is just like sleep paralysis. If you know anything about sleep paralysis, it's a state when you in between being awake and asleep. Now that has happened to me plenty of times. And most people who experience sleep paralysis, that means you have a soul, because when you're sleeping at night, your soul drifts off into another dimension, the dream world, while your body yet lays on the bed and it's still operating because the brain is still giving signals to the heart to keep beating and for the lungs to keep breathing while you are somewhere else. So then when you about to wake up, sometimes your conscious wakes up before your body and you feel yourself stiff on the bed. It's called sleep paralysis. Now, I'm saying that to say this. This is kind of like the state that we are living in now as conscious people with awareness. We still stuck in this thing, but yet we are still awake. You see, because we are in the body and not unaware about what's taking place, it's the same thing like an actual sleep paralysis. We are aware of everything, but yet we still stuck in it. And that's why we feel the pressure and the pain every day like a nightmare. So that's why I say it's God's nightmare. It's kind of like we in a state of sleep paralysis where we see what's taking place and we're trying our best to wake up, but we still in the body for the moment. So the only thing I can say is we have to do what we have to do while we are in the body. So, and what do we have to do is, stay awake. Keep fighting to stay awake. Just like in an actual sleep paralysis, you fight till you get up. If you know what I'm talking about, put ones in the comment section if you ever experienced that sleep paralysis. So in the same effect, that's what I'm saying. How do we fight to stay up? We stay practicing the techniques that we speak about on the channel. We keep ourselves aware. We keep listening to the left side of the brain channel. We keep our eyes open. We keep ourselves from being led astray to where they can parasite off of us, because this whole entire HPB realm is parasitical in nature. You see what I'm saying? Like, they need us. We don't need them. And that's the key to success in this thing. Too many times we think, oh, I can't do nothing without them. No, they need us. This whole world, like I said in the last live stream, is built upon inflating ego. They need somebody to slave over, to give them ego. They need somebody to feel like they don't fit in, to make them feel better. They need all of those negative feelings that you have, because it gives them a purpose, because their purpose is to make you feel all of those negative feelings. Haven't you noticed that when you was a child, you didn't feel as negative, all of these negative emotions and things like you feel when you became an adult? Why you think that is? Because as you grew up, you became more and more aware that you are living in a prison. Even before you came conscious of, like, the left side of the brain channel, you still knew that something wasn't right. That's why as you increased in age, those negative feelings and emotions, they also increased inside of you. And people who don't know what to do with these emotions, they end up committing suicide. Time out for 1 minute. 1 minute. Yo, Jags, back in the building. Sorry about that. Back in the building. Left side of the brain back in the building. Yo, what I was saying is we those negative emotions and feelings, a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. So a lot of people, they committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? They became depressed. They got put on medications. You know what I mean? They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the pressures, right? So that's what happened to a lot of people. But as Jaguars, we know where these feelings are coming from. So consider me Dr. Left Side of the Brain. I'm giving you a diagnosis of why you be having these negative feelings and things. It's because you are constantly under attack. And you can feel it. You can feel their eyes watching you. And that leads me to another thing. Like, you got to understand something. See, we say something on this channel called, we say the law of exceedings, right? Now, the law of exceedings means that for everything that takes place in nature, it has a correspondence that replicates itself like what takes place in nature. And it doesn't exceed beyond what takes place in the world around us. So everything I say, I back it up with the law of exceedings. Now, saying that to say this, everything in nature that you see around you, it has a predator that's out to get it. So the HPBs, guess what? They are the predators that's out to get us in the spiritual sense. Because remember, everything that takes place in the natural world, it takes place in the spiritual world. So the HPBs, they are out to get us. That's what they represent. They are predators. You got to understand that everything feeds off of something in this world. They feed off of us. Everything is parasitical in nature. Even us. That's right. We are even parasites. But we parasite to survive. Like when you eat an apple from a tree, you are parasiting off of the nutrients in the apple. Everything in nature is parasitical by nature. But on another sense, human prison bars, see, they take it to another level. They parasite off of us. We are the food that they eat. You see what I'm saying? It's like that movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was just looking at that movie last night. It was funny. Real funny movie. It's an old classic horror movie. Not even a horror movie. It's not even scary, but when I was looking at it, I was saying to myself, like, this is exactly what HPBs do. Like, they come across like clowns, funny, very simple, but yet they have a evil mandate. Like in that movie, the killer clowns, they was capturing humans and putting them in these like cotton candy cocoons, and they was hanging them up and storing them inside of this circus tent like spaceship. And then later they would come and, like in one scene, like one of the clowns, he took a straw and he stuck it in like the cotton candy cocoon thing, and he started sipping up the person. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, these HPBs, they like aliens. You know what I'm saying? I said that in the last live stream. See, we the natural people. They like the people who don't get it. They not from a natural world. They got a whole different, way of doing things. We don't understand them They don't understand us. That's why they alien. They aliens because, and then they like the killer clowns. You know what I'm saying? Because they only here to what? To eat us, suck our souls, devour us, chew us up, and spit us out like a peanut shell. That's their whole purpose. See, everything in this world has a predator. You see? See, the only thing that don't have a predator is God. But you see, Satan, if you would, or the evil ones, they out to eat God's children. But we, as the United Souls, we don't have that inside of us. We're not out here trying to devour people. Once you get this type of mindset, this enlightened God mindset, you're not out here trying to devour people. That's why I'll be like, being in a relationship, searching for love and all of that type of stuff, it's only one love, and it's the truth. There's no other love that exists. Truth is unconditional. It hurts at first to accept it, but once you accept it, it's the greatest thing ever. You see? Being in a relationship is basically, like I said, you trying to measure up yourself in the eyes of another person. You will never fulfill yourself in their eyes. It just don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? You will never be good enough when you're trying to measure yourself up in the eyes of someone else. You will never be good enough. You know why? Because a human has appetites. This is why friendships and relationships and all of that stuff don't work. And this is why what I'm saying is so true. The only person that you can be a friend with is yourself. People will change on you. You see, the friendship definition of this world is basically this right here. I'm a friend with you as long as you're saying the things that benefits me. As long as you're doing the things that benefits me and saying the things that make me happy. Then we friends. See, in a situation like that, that can always change because a person is constantly changing. A person's emotions is constantly changing. So how can you be a friend with something that has emotional changes, constantly changing? You see, the truth does not change. It's the type of friend that is on your side, just like time. When you manage your time properly, time is always on your side. Or when you don't manage your time properly, time can be against you. But it's not against you, it's you not managing yourself within that time. So the truth is the same way. Truth will tell you, like time, that you got 5 minutes to do this. But you sit around, be lazy, and then try to do something at the last minute, and then time is against you. Well, it's not really against you, it's really neutral. But because you wanted to wait around, then the time becomes your enemy, and it's not going to stop for you. So the truth is the same way. The truth may tell you, don't deal with that individual. Don't get yourself into that situation. Then you put yourself in that situation, and then just like when the time is ticking off the clock because you waited too long, you waited to the last minute, the same way with the truth. Once you do something that the truth told you not to do, you end up with what? A guilty conscience. You see what I'm saying? So truth can work for you and it can work against you in the form of that guilty conscience. You see? Now that guilty conscience is just a chastisement That's your spirit when it's chastising you. And because you don't like that guilty feeling, you don't want to do the same thing again, because of that guilty feeling, it makes you not want to, go and make that same mistake again. So truth is the only thing that can really be your friend. It's the only thing that will stick with you to the end. Whether you broke, whether you ugly, whether you smell bad, whatever. Truth will never leave you. Right? So that's why you can't rely upon anything else but this. Nothing else in this world will fill you up. It won't fill up your gas tank. Everything else in this world, it has a expiration date. It has a time limit. It has a novelty expiration. When the novelty wears off, guess what? You're going to be looking for the next thing to do. That's why people be on drugs in this world, addicted to different vices and alcohol and all of this type of things, because they trying to fulfill themselves with things that are temporary. That's what this HP world is built upon. Ego is a feeling, is a temporary feeling. Because you can only bask in a certain ego for so long. You get what I'm saying? Like, you may accomplish something, right? And brag about it. But eventually you're going to get tired about bragging about that same thing. Then your ego is going to push you to do something else. Then it's going to push you to do something else. And if your entire ego is connected to material things and the approval of people, guess what? That would be a forever cycle that never ends. A pointless cycle, because it never has a completion. It's never fulfilling. You see, but with the truth, it don't work like that. You get the truth one time and you set for life. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get this HPB information and you are set for life. No matter how old you get, you can be on your dying deathbed and pass this type of information down to your children. It don't lose value. Truth is the only thing that does not depreciate. It's a forever appreciating asset to your life. Somebody need to write that down. Truth is a forever appreciating asset to your life. Everything else depreciates. It loses value. See what I'm saying? This is gold, man. Spiritual gold. It don't tarnish. It don't fade. It don't pass away. What the Bible says, it says God's words are eternal. Now let me go to some of the messages in the chat. Somebody I know posted some questions. Let me see. I gotta scroll up. We got 30 people in the house tonight. We should have 30 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the likes button now. It's 30 people in the chat. We should have 30 likes. This is LSOTB, left side of the brain. Okay, I see some good chats. Okay, I'm gonna read a chat message. Chris the Realist. He said this realm is like a shared lucid dream, where the dreamers, they are the characters, and the reason this place seems so physical is due to our collective belief systems. And I agree with that. False belief systems, right? False belief systems. Like money, for instance, is not a necessity for life, but everybody believes that it's a necessity, so therefore it becomes real. It's a false belief system. So I understand that very well. Yeah, you do start getting aware around like ninth grade, high school. Like somebody left a message, like Super Ninja Kenny said he got aware in the ninth grade. That's when it'll start to hit you, man, that something isn't right. Jaguar Media in the house. What up? Oh, he left. He said he'll watch it later. What state I'm in? I'm in the state of mind, Joey G. That's what state I'm in. The state of mind. Hey, somebody wrote, these people do not think positive thoughts. Yo, I need to touch on that. I think I said it before, but thanks for bringing it to my mind. That's another thing. These HPBs, they do not think positive thoughts, period. Everything they think is negative. Even when they smiling in your face, it's not real. Everything they do is to trick and deceive you. It's all about deception. Even their beauty is deception. Everything they do is deception. Just like when you look out into nature, you might see a beautiful flower, and it turns out that the flower is poisonous, and its beauty is to attract a fly or something like a Venus flytrap, and then it closes itself around the fly. You see what I'm saying? So nature is like that. It has so many disguises, camouflage, deception. Deception is all around you in nature. Look how animals are camouflaged. Stripes to blend in with the trees and the elements behind the animal. You see? All of this stuff is built inside of the nature that's around us, because it's the nature of this world that we live in. This is why it's a prison. This is why I call it a human prison bar system. And it's beautiful in some parts. It's beautiful in some areas. They're not going to make you feel 100% blue every day. Because if they did that, it'll be too obvious. So they give you false hope. That's another thing I was thinking about the other day. The only reason why this world keeps going and people keep pushing themselves to wake up out of the bed in the morning, because 90% of it is false hope. You just got something built inside of you telling you to keep pushing, keep going on. It's going to change. It's going to get better. How can it get better if you don't know this kind of information? That's why all of these people out here are misled. They looking for life to get better based upon material things and acceptance by other people. They constantly chasing something that they can never catch up with. And at the same time, something is telling them, whether it's an Instagram quote or a Facebook quote or meme or something that they see, keep telling them to keep going and keep going. But if you stop and ask them, what do you keep going for? They can't tell you none of this information we saying. They don't even know. Oh, I'm just pushing on. Pushing on for what? They don't even know. Most of these people who just pushing on and pushing on, you know why they doing that? Because they are afraid of death. They're afraid of death. They think dying is where everything ends. But I'm here to tell you, dying is where everything begins. Reality begins when you die. Because when you die, you will see everything that you was held back from when you was alive. When you die and you go on the other side, you'll see everything that people didn't know about who was alive. Nobody alive can tell you about what it's like to be dead. When you die, all reality will be exposed to you. You see? But when you don't know yourself and you don't have no spiritual foundation, you would think death is where everything ends. And that's why these people keep pushing on for no reason. They have no rhyme. They have no rhyme and reason. They just do it. Because maybe they got kids and just got to get out the bed. They empty, man. They got about as much purpose as a trash can. The only purpose for a trash can is what? To be filled up with trash. And that's what these people are, man. They just trash cans. They full of GMO foods, negative energy, negative thought waves. They just walk in trash containers. You see what I'm saying? That's why they want to keep going on, because they don't have a spiritual foundation. They're afraid. They look over the edge. It's like being on a cliff, right? And being afraid of heights. You walk to the edge, but you don't go all the way to the end because you're afraid. That's how they are when it comes to like this type of communication. They're afraid of the truth. They're afraid to die. They're afraid of this world ending, because everything about them is built inside of egotism. They don't want to let the ego loose. I have let my ego loose. And you don't even start to live until you let go of your ego. And what do I mean by that? You don't start to live until you start living for yourself and not for others. When you're living for others, you're living according to fulfilling somebody else's expectations or somebody else's definition of what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And when you living like that, you living for somebody's approval. So when they approve you of something, then you feel good. Oh, I got a big ego now because he just rubbed my ego. This person tickled my ego. Oh, I'm doing good now. When you living like that, you're not even living. You don't begin to live till you let all of that stuff go, man. Like me right now, it might be a person that's in their 70s, but if they never obtained this type of truth, they never lived. How can you say you lived a life and you never gained the truth, man? You never lived. You get what I'm saying? It's like going to the fair and you didn't buy no candy apple, you didn't buy no cotton candy. I'm talking about when you was a kid. Like you didn't get on no rides. You know what I'm saying? You didn't play the little rubber ducky pond little game when they racing around the pond. You didn't get on the Ferris wheel or the little carousel with the horses. You didn't get on the bumper cars. You didn't even go to the fair then. You didn't even go to the fair. So it's the same thing in life. If you live this entire life and never obtained the truth, you never even lived. You never even lived, man. Every birthday you had was just counting your death years. It wasn't counting your birth. It's just counting how long you've been in the grave. But when I have a birthday, it literally means something. It means like this year I got more wisdom than I had last year. Can those other people say that? No. I'll tell you flat out, no. They can't say that. That's why they get old. People who got the truth, we live forever. We don't get gray hair. We don't get all wrinkly. We stay youthful and athletic, because as long as you're searching for truth, your body will stay young. You see, the search for truth is where the fountain of youth lies. Because when you stop seeking out truth, you will die. Because once your physical body is no longer worth being a slave, guess what? It just clocks out. Because they can't do nothing else with you in a human prison ballroom. They just say time out for this person. You literally just clock out. But if you like a wise man, a guru, because you living for something that's real, spiritual enlightenment, you can live to be 120, 200 years old, man. Off of prana. Who know what that is? Who know what prana is? It's enlightenment energy. That's what prana is. So when you seeking this type of information, you are seeking prana. It's prana energy. You will breathe differently. You will sleep differently. Your dreams will be differently. When you go to the park and walk through the woods, guess what else? Another criteria between us and them. When we walk in the woods and do nature walks, we are really connecting with the trees around us. But when those people go through the nature, they don't connect. They don't feel the spirit of the forest. You see what I'm saying? They don't feel it. They don't contemplate. They don't sit by the lake and contemplate. No, these soulless people, they don't contemplate. They don't have deep thoughts about them. You see what I'm saying? They like fast food, man. They like microwave meals. It's literally unhealthy to be around them. Haven't you noticed you get depressed, this depressed feeling when you be around these people? They bring your energy down, man. And then you go in a room full of positive people. You can have conversations. You can be yourself. You can talk how you want to talk. You can feel how you want to feel. Then you get around a bunch of dead people. And you like, damn, am I the only live person in the room? Yep. Yes, you are. And but, it's a flip side to every coin. The flip side is, because you feel that way, that means you have a soul. At least you can tell that the temperature is different. At least you can tell the temperature is different. When you get around them, you can tell that something ain't right. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like your body is at, it's like going in a room, right? Regular room temperature, right? And they bring you down. They bring your feelings down. It's almost like you ice water, right? You in your state, right? You in like ice water state, right? Then you go into a room around people that's at room temperature, and then you begin to melt. You start sweating. You start melting and becoming like them, like the water when you take it out of the freezer, and you get in a different environment. You see what I'm saying? That's how it is when you're around those people. You can tell that something ain't right around you. I'm feeling different. You see? But that's a good thing to have. That's a good sense to know that you are different. I take pride in knowing that I'm different. You should too. I take pride in knowing that I'm different. Shit. I take pride when they do reject me. You should want to be rejected in this world, man. Because when they reject you, they just pushing you into another world. Don't look at it as rejection. Look at it as elevation. You're being pushed to a higher level. I don't want to be accepted by this world. Why would you? You see what I'm saying? We shouldn't want to conform to this world. I make people feel uneasy around me. That's right. When they get around me, they feel uneasy. Shit. It ain't I'm not gonna be the one constantly saying, oh, I don't know. When I walk around them, I want them to feel uneasy. Maybe they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he see me. Yeah, he can see right through me. You damn right. I see right through you. And you know what I see? I see you an empty glass. You empty. I see right through you. You empty. But when you come in contact with somebody of a like mind, you don't see right through them. You see a reflection of yourself. You see something that you can communicate with. You instantly smile. How many people have experienced that? Like, you may be walking in public and you may make eye contact with somebody. You don't know what it is, but you instantly have to say hey or hello to that person. And it feels genuine. You know what that is? They was on a frequency that activated your frequency. The frequencies was on the same level, and somewhere within that frequency, your frequency touched their frequency, and it initiated a smile and a genuine hi or hello. That's exactly what happened. Y'all got to stop looking at stuff for the physical aspect of it. Behind every man, behind every shell, there is a spirit being that's behind this body. Hence, you dream at night while your body is laying on the bed. That's proof in itself. See what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't understand that, like, the body is physical, but behind every body, there is a spirit and a soul, right? And you smile when you come into contact with the right type of spirit. You see what I'm saying? And there's something else I wanted to say. You know why people smile in the first place? See, everything in nature is for a reason. You know why people laugh and smile? Smiling and laughing. Now, sometimes it can just be a fake gesture, but I'm talking about a real laugh or smile. Like you burst out laughing. The reason why you do that is because it's your body reacting to that there is no danger. Something can happen. When somebody say, oh, that was funny, what that really means, your brain saw something that did not register as being a threat. And because it didn't register as being a threat, you laughed. So if you go into a situation where a lot of people are laughing, that also gives a signal that this area right now is at a point of no danger. Now, not all the time, because sometimes, you might go into a place and people doing a sinister laugh. But I'm just saying, like, 9 times out of 10, like, normally you see a lot of people laughing, then it can represent calmness or no danger. People laughing at the same thing at the same time. They sharing a commonality. They sharing a feeling of unity. Like at a comedy show, everybody is laughing. It's carefree. That's what laughter entails. It's like nothing is happening right now that's dangerous. Because most of the time, a person is worrying. So a laugh is basically a break from the worry. It's your body reacting to a non-serious situation. It's comical and funny. It's your mind letting you know that this type of situation is not death. It doesn't equate to death. It's silly. It's funny. That's why people, because, and most people don't even know that. They think you just laughing because something was funny. They don't understand the science behind it. So that's the science behind laughter. It's the body's reaction to a non-threatening situation. That's what laughter means. It's a signal that your body gives off. And that's why when you get around people that's like-minded, you start laughing, you smiling, you having a good time because you don't feel threatful. I mean, you don't feel threatened in that type of situation. That's right. So our bodies are designed, like when you gotta pee, you have a certain feeling that lets you know it's time to go to the restroom. When you're thirsty, your body, your mouth will feel dry, your body and everything will alert you. So that's why we laugh, people. It's a sign of this situation is not dangerous. That's why you're not going to see nobody laughing if a dog is chasing them. They're not going to be laughing if a big angry pit bull chasing them down the street. That's no time for laughter. See what I'm saying? So yeah, let me go to the chats right now. We got 33 people in the building. We should have at least 33 likes. We got 27 likes. Let me go to the chats. Let me see who in the house. Beazle in the house. Shout outs. Jewel Pop. Okay. Jewel Pop asked me a question. MGTOW Gnostic, what up? What up? Not a YouTuber. You finally made it. What's up, man? Good to see you. Have you in the house. Now I'm gonna go to questions. This is the question time. So if you have any questions relating to tonight's topic, let's hear them. This is the question segment, the Q&A segment that we're going into right now. Let's see. The first question, somebody beat me to it. They was already prepared. Let's see. I'll just scroll past it. Okay, this is a good question by Jewel Pop. Do you wonder if our true consciousness is in another place, like in a dream? Now, that's a good question. And I have the answer to that. It is in another place. And that's why I feel the way I do all the time. I always feel like I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm always somewhere else. I reside in a realm of truth. You may as well call it the truth sphere. I don't live in this atmosphere. I live in the truth sphere. That's just a little name I just made up. And this world is not real. It's based upon fake concepts. And what I mean by that is, a false concept is when the world is going about things that are not a necessity, like money. Money is not a necessity. It's something that was created to be a necessity. You see? So that's a false concept. And there are many more false concepts that we live under in this world. So you can say to that question, yes, we do live in another place. When you have the truth, you do. But if you like one of them, Trivial Human, Establishing Mayhem, you live here in this world. Okay? You are one of the human prison bars that upholds all of these false concepts. So that's the answer to that question. And sometimes I even think that you can say our consciousness is almost like a remote control, right? And we just moving about as our conscience wills us, as God tells us things. So basically, as it relates to God, and if we are one of his children, we like one of the game players like in Mario Brothers. We just moving around on the screen as God controls us and direct us. So I hope I answered that question. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? LS, could you discuss how and why HPBs prevent you from manifesting your true potential? It's been an issue with me personally lately, people I consider friends and family. Oh, okay. The answer to that is nobody can prevent you from doing anything. You can only prevent yourself. And when you don't allow people to uh, dictate your flow of energy, then you will take control of your destiny. Nobody preventing you from anything. You see, the reality is you have to come from under the umbrella of thinking that somebody is preventing you. That's the number one thought that you have to change. You got to go with the motto, the mantra that no prevention, no prevention in my life. That's what you need to start saying to yourself. People can't prevent you from doing anything. If anything, they just creating a new pathway. Because if somebody blocks you one way, just like football, right? You get a running back to football, he go up the field. Of course, the defense going to try to tackle him, but he has to maneuver around them. You see? And the more wise you get, the more you will be able to manifest those skills of maneuvering. Just like chess, right? Nobody prevents you to do anything in chess. You just got to be the better chess player. So yeah, I hope I answered that question. All right, let's see what else we got. Any more questions? Somebody wrote, women are trapped. Yep, you're right, Joey. They can be if you allow it. See, everything when it comes to our level, you get on this level, is if you allow it. A woman cannot be no trap for me because number one, I don't fall in love with females. I see them for what they is. See, when you start seeing things for other than what it is and start believing the lies and the hoopla about everything, that's when you get disappointed. I don't get disappointed in life because I already know that life is a big disappointment and is made to disappoint you. So I just take people as they come and go. I mean, I understand who I am. I don't get caught up in what people think or say. You know what I'm saying? Because people come and go like raindrops. They hit the ground and they dissolve. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. Any more questions? Let's see what we got. The beauty of a woman can get you set up. I look past the look of a person and see a walking skeleton. That skin is the illusion of difference. You are right, Kenny G. And you're using the terminology wisely, man. That's right. That's the proper application of how Kenny G used that terminology. Somebody wrote, are women the serpent of Adam and Eve? Good question. No, she isn't the serpent, but she was used and still is used to influence men to get off their purpose. Many times women derail men. And the reason why is because, you see, in this life, one of the things that women offer to a man is sex, right? So she controls you by your lower chakra, by your sex chakra. She takes control of that and she can lead a man by his penis, right? And she uses that to her advantage. So women can hit a man's sweet spot. Every woman knows that a man wants sex. So she can talk to you in a certain kind of way and tickle your feather and make you think that she's in love with you and have you believing that you about to get all this sex in the world. And she can manipulate you through your sexual energy. You see what I'm saying? Even though she's physically weaker than you, she can manipulate you. Her beauty, just her lips moving and her words coming out her mouth sounding passionate. She'll have you climbing mountains. crossing the river for her. But in the end, she just out to use you, deceive you. She can get you caught up. You know how many men been robbed because of a woman? You know how many men been set up because of a woman? Because she played on a man's weakest emotion. And a man's weakest emotion is falling in love with a beautiful woman. You see? And the reason why it works so effectively is because in this world, right? See, women work together. They make sex hard to come by so prostitutes can have a job. You see, if all women were like prostitutes, they couldn't use sex over men. But because women at the same time work together, they leave room for prostitutes to exist. See, women know that every woman is not going to marry a rich man. So they don't give sex out freely to every man. So what happens is that leaves room for their other sisters. See, all women are connected to the brain. See, when I deal with women, I look at all females as just one huge program. It's like buttons on a computer. All the buttons on the computer, they look separate, but every single one of those computers on that keyboard is connected to that computer. So if you press K, it'll show up on the screen. If you press M, it'll show up on the screen. So women are the same way. They all in this same computer system. Even though the button may look different, the face may look different, you better believe that they are in cahoots with each other. They roll in packs and everything. So yes, to answer that question, no, they are not the actual serpent, but yes, they are used by the serpent. Let's see what else. We got any more questions? Let's see if we have any more questions. Somebody wrote, women are in fact spiritually dead. They do not have the spark of the divine. What I can say to that is, women are going to do two things. They're going to please you sexually, or they're going to just play games with you and have you feeling frustrated and waste your time. That's what it boils down to with a female. She's either going to be a helpmate that's going to see, this is the thing with a woman. If you get with a woman and if she have any kind of adverse reasoning or any type of philosophy in her mind that's opposite of what you stand for, it's going to create a problem in your life. Even down to the slightest things, like she might not like this particular food and you might like that type of food. That may seem small, but that little small thing can cause a rift between you and her. And any little small rift between a man and a woman can lead her to not want to have sex with you. And that's the main purpose you got with her in the first place. And any little thing that she don't like, she can what? Say, I don't want to have sex with you. So any little thing that leads a woman to do that, guess what? She becomes a stress to you at that moment. She's not benefiting you at that moment. And at that moment, she becomes a what? A liability. Well, they always liabilities, but she becomes a health liability because she's raising your blood pressure. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't be with a woman that's treating you like a yo-yo on the string. Come here, then push you back. Come here, push you back. That's how they do, you know. You don't want them treating you like no yo-yo on the string, controlling your every movement, taking you high and low and twirling you around. You don't want a woman to do you like that. You see, women are designed to basically control men. A lot of brothers in this world have fought each other and killed each other over the attention of a woman. And it's the silliest thing. And the reason why that happens is because they make sex like it's the hardest thing in the world to get. So when a woman finally relinquishes her sex to a man, he feels like, oh, I got a woman that's finally cooperating, and you, man, you not about to mess this up. Don't be looking at my girl. Don't be talking to my girl. They get all possessive and things like that. That possessive attitude, it comes from a lack of a person who has lived their entire life lacking access to having a whole lot of women. Because if they were not acting like all stingy with the sex and stuff, how they be doing, men wouldn't even give a damn if another dude looked at their girl or not. He wouldn't even care, because if every woman was just out here just like in a strip club, no man is getting upset that a stripper is allowing other men to touch him, because in that setting she's available to everybody, so there's no need to fight. But outside of that strip club, in this fake world that we live in, you got men in competition over something, because that something decided to say, I'm just for you. But that something, that woman, is keeping that man in an area of uncertainty. That's how women deal with men. They never gonna be there for you, like 24/7, bending over as soon as you get home, ready to suck your dick as soon as you get home, because you're dealing with something that has an emotional connection to the pleasure that you really want. You just really want the pleasure. But getting that pleasure from a woman requires manipulating her emotions. So you have sex with her, and when you're done having sex with her, to turn her on, it's not like a light switch. Like a light switch is, you just guaranteed to turn on the light every time you hit the light switch, if you keep paying your light bill. Okay? But with the woman, it's not that simple. You got to keep coming up with new things to say. You got to keep impressing her. You got to compete with the other men that she see, like around shopping malls and when on her job, and her boss may be hitting on her, and all type of different scenarios. So it's a constant pull at your peace, just dealing in a relationship, period. That's why the only attitude that you can take to relieve yourself is just don't give a fuck. Just look at all these women as a hit or miss. That's how I look at it. I don't even take women serious. I just look at it like, okay, you talk to this woman, it's a chance. Like when you go to the store and you buy those lottery ticket things, you don't get all disappointed when you scratch off that little silver stuff off the surface, and you might say, oh, I didn't hit, I didn't win. But you didn't feel all disappointed and heartbroken and listening to love songs, because you didn't have that high expectation about it anyway. So I take the same attitude when I'm dealing with women. I don't have no high expectation with these hoes, man. Why? Got no high expectation with these women. They come and they go, man. Plus they ignorant anyway. Why would you put stock in ignorance? That's like putting your actual money in a stock market into a company that's failing. Why would you put so much money into something that's going to fail? It's not doing good on the stock market. So why would you put a lot of stock in a woman anyway? You see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. It's like, you decide how you feel about it based upon your understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? If you go in there with these high hopes and stuff, guess what? You're going to be disappointed. Every time I get with a woman, I say to myself, I sleep with her tonight, this may be the last time I'm going to sleep with her. Because I already know 9 times out of 10, the average woman, the average interaction between a man and a woman, it's going to last you might get 3 sexual episodes and that's it. It's gonna fall flat. So all right, moving on. Let's see if there are any more questions. Y'all hold up for 1 second. Y'all hold on for 1 second. Oh shit. Yo, got interrupted. Y'all, I'm sorry about that. The stream got interrupted. I lost connection, y'all. But I'm back. LSOTB. I'm sorry about that. We lost connection. Yep, I'm back. Back like I never left. All right, let's see if we got any more questions. We back. Where's everybody at? I think a lot of people thought I ended the chat because I got disconnected for a moment. Okay, who is this? MGTOW Gnostic. Somebody talking shit? Let me see this. What's taking place? Why assume he needs anything besides the divine? Let me see what's taking place. Are they talking about me? Let me address what's going on in this chat right here. All right, so you got some women. I told y'all these women will be in the live streams, you see, and you're gonna get women attacking this type of information because a woman, she don't know what it feels like to be a man. You see, let me give y'all an example. You see this water right here? This is LeBlue water, right? This is LeBlue water. This is how it is with the woman. Okay, listen. If you want water, right? Only thing you got to do is pick up the water out of the refrigerator. Pick up the water off the shelf, depending on how you like it, room temperature or cold. You take the cap off the water and you drink it like this. You drink the water, and each and every time you go to the water is not going to give you no problem. Just like food, you order a pizza, you can eat that pizza as long as you are hungry. When you fulfilled, you put the pizza back. When you want another slice, you go to the pizza, you get you a slice of pizza with no complications. You don't have to deal with any emotions. But the only time you got to deal with emotions to fulfill something is when you're dealing with a woman. When you're trying to fulfill your sexual urges, the only time you get that pull back is when you dealing with a woman. But in every other area in life, like for eating, drinking water, or purchasing some shoes, or you want to buy some new clothes or whatever, as long as you got the money, you can get it with no problem. You see what I'm saying? Yo, I'm about to relocate because some dude standing by where I was, and I didn't like his presence, man. I don't be feeling these people like that. I didn't like that dude's presence. So left side of the brain decided to get in his vehicle. So I'm gonna continue what I have to say, but I'm gonna continue it somewhere else. All right, I'm gonna park right here. All right. See, the only time, okay, for everything in life, right? Like all of your appetites, all of your fleshly appetites, like eating, you want to go see the movies, you want to go buy some new clothes, you want to buy some candy, you want some food, you want to get a drink of water. You can keep going back to those things, and those things they never tell you no. But only when it comes to a woman, your sexual appetite, she has the power to say no. So that's why women, like I was saying, they don't understand what men go through, because a woman, all of her fleshly desires can be fulfilled. She can get sex anytime. But for a man, getting sex is like hunting. You got to talk to the woman. You got to persuade her that you're the right man. You got to do this, do this, do this, do this. You got to be the right height. You got to be. But for a woman, let's say if you go out on a date with a woman, the only thing she got to do is just say, come over my house, bend over, unzip your pants. Only thing she got to say is, come over my house. I'm going to bend over the couch. I'm going to unzip your pants. You can hit me from behind, and I'll suck your dick till the cows come home. That's it. That's all a man want anyway. But for a woman, she makes it all complicated and this and this and that. So when you're talking about stuff like this, a woman will never understand, because a woman, to get inside of a woman, you got to tap all of those emotional buttons inside of her. Don't nobody got time for that. That's time consuming. So relationships and dating and all of that, it's just like a time vacuum. It's taking a lot of time from you, and it doesn't reciprocate the time that it has taken from you. If you're dealing with a woman for 1 hour on a date, and if she finally gives you a blowjob, and the blowjob lasted for 15 minutes, that hour was only reciprocated for 15 minutes. The other 45 minutes was wasted. You see what I'm saying? The other 45 minutes was wasted. But when you pick up a cup of water or a bottle of water and you take a sip, you don't waste no time. You see the cup, you see the water, you want to take a sip, you sip from the cup, and you done. Then you finish what you was doing. It didn't even take but a second. But with a woman, she's taking hours away from you just to get something that's going to last for 15 minutes. So that means, like, what do you need? Like, you don't really need a woman. You don't need a relationship. You can sustain without it. So that's why women, you see, the main thing is, like, I see a few women comments in the chat. The main thing is, this type of stuff exposes the female's agenda. She want to be in a relationship. She want to be in a relationship so somebody can take care of her. So somebody can take care of her kids. She understands, so somebody can pay her bills. So somebody can change her car oil or change her tire. She want to use somebody to be a provider while she dishes out the sex sparingly. So when you start talking about it and exposing it, they get upset because it goes against everything that they are designed to do. Do y'all get what I'm saying, Jax? It goes against everything that they were designed to do. And yes, these conversations will lead to sex, because sex is what everything we do is about. Haven't you heard of the bird and the bees? What do you think birds and bees doing? They just having sex, making honey, producing other the whole entire bee colony it revolves around the queen bee having little bees, worker bees, nursery bees. It's all about the queen bee in this world. The birds and the bees. Bees, birds. It's all about laying eggs, finding worms to feed the eggs that hatch. That's what this whole thing is about. So what makes you think it's any different when you're dealing with the human female? She just got an egg that grows in her stomach. She hatches, and then you got to go out and find the worm to feed not only her, not only the child, but also her. She's going to require you to feed her. At least in nature, the female bird, she go out and get her own supply of food. The male bird, he just do his job and leave. They don't have to pay child support and all of that. So the human, you get a double dose of all of the problems as a man. With sex comes drama, risk involved, everything. You lose time, as I explained, that doesn't reciprocate itself. You end up in family court. You end up in divorce court. A lot of men's lives have been ruined by females. This whole system of how you got to deal with a woman it's fraud. It doesn't lean towards the man's favor. It leads in the favor of a woman. You see? So really, a lot of you men out here having kids and stuff, you just being used. Once you have a baby by a female, she can still leave your ass. She'll be with another man. And she's going to leave you. All relationships are going to break up because it's human nature. Because people cannot be satisfied by physical means. Nothing physical can satisfy you forever. People have an appetite for change. That's all people do. We change clothes. We change the food menu. We change tires. So what makes you think you're going to be in the same alignment with the same person for the rest of your life? That female is going to get tired of you. And she's only going to stay in a relationship with you if it's benefiting to her. She's not going to stay in that relationship if it's only benefiting to you. That relationship has to benefit her. They are selfish creatures. Yes, some of them are less selfish than others, but all of them got a bit of the same thing inside of them. Some of them just have a higher degree than others. You got to understand one thing about a female. All females have periods. All females go through menstruation. And with menstruation comes emotional mood swings. Every female. So I don't put a lot of stock and weight in what females say, or I judge females by their actions, because they are very fickle like that. Like even females on this channel, they don't know me personally. I may say some things that touch them at the core, but as you see, they will still come out against certain things when it goes against their biological design and their game plan. Like things I say that expose them, they get upset. But enough of that. Let's move on to something else. Let's see if there are any more questions. And that's one of the shaming tactics they do. Like one of the shaming tactics a female will do, she will say, oh, this person is either hateful to women, jealous of women, or they need a woman, or they'll say something like that. That's one of the tactics of the HPB realm. That's one of the tactics they use. But that stuff don't work on me. They got to come harder than that. Right, Joey G. Exactly what you said. Here we go again. Listen what Joey said. Here we go again. Women come in the stream and get all triggered. That's right. You notice how it's never the men that's triggering these episodes that be in our live streams? That says a lot in itself. Nobody's saying I love women. I like women. I love having sex. I like getting blowjobs. I like doggy style. I like fucking girls. I love that. So why would I say I hate a woman? I just don't love the nature of the female. What man in his right mind will love being taken advantage of and being in love with the nature of a female that's not designed to benefit you? The marriage thing, the dating thing, all of that stuff is rigged. All right, let's move on to something else. Top 5 cases in the house. Can you explain a bit about why do human prison bars exist in the first place and what is their purpose? Okay, I think we have went over that enough. But I'll just touch on it real quick. I mean, that's what the whole channel is about. That's everything we speak about. Human prison bars exist because this is a prison world that we live in, and they exist to keep us in prison, and that's their purpose. I mean, we got tons of videos on that. We got tons of videos on that. Go look at some of those red light editions. We talk about all of that. Any more questions? I wish I could have this person call in. I wish I could have a baby. Do y'all see that? Did y'all see that? We got we're gonna call her what she is. She's a demon. We got a demon in the chat, and this demon said, I wish I could have a baby. I'm a jealous man. But we're not gonna get that demon no more attention and watch that demon just dies, because she is a HPB. She's looking for attention, and I'm not gonna feed it. But at the same time, I can expose the demon tactic, because you got to understand that they're going to throw all type of arrows at you, you see? And they call truth jealousy. And one thing about it, when you say something about a woman and female nature, they can never refute anything. They can only get emotional. They never refute. Let's see if there are any more questions. Right, somebody wrote, wouldn't be offended if it wasn't true. That's right. That's right. Men expected to be the provider while the women devour the resources. I like that one. Yeah, this is fun. Women, why does someone, this coming from MGTOW Gnostic, women, why does someone get convicted of double homicide if both the women and child get killed, but if you abort it, then it's not murder? That's right, because it leans towards them. They're not going to lock women up like that. You know why they're not going to lock women up at the same rate they lock men up? Because they need women out in the world so they can procreate and keep life going on this planet. That's why the system will always be rigged in favor of the female, because they don't want to lock them up and have them in prison. The longer they away from society, that's less chances they have for another human to come into this world, because humans are steadily dying. So they need women out on the streets to have babies. So that in itself lets you know that it works against the whole entire human prison bar realm to have women locked up and incriminating women for crimes and things at the same rate as they do men. It goes against everything that they are about. That's why. Let's see. Upbeat TV, Raw Hip Hop. What up? We in the house. Thanks, Joy, man. That's the spirit. What's the spiritual differences between man and women, female or male? Oh, you mean like that the inner spirit? All right, this is the thing. We say on this channel that males and females, see the difference between men and women is testosterone and estrogen, right? On a chemical level. But we say a man is testosterone governed by logic, spiritual logic, like the things we deal with on this channel. So we also say that a female and a female spirit can be in both male and female, regardless of their sexual genitals. So if you got a male who acts like a female, and what I mean by that is he's not governed by logic, his testosterone, he is a female. So we say that females are anybody, whether male or woman, that promotes the female feminist agenda in all of its aspects. They promote it to work against us, the real men who have testosterone governed by logic. So that's the definition of a female. And so yes, you do have male females. That's the difference between them. And females can be very cold-hearted. You notice how women can reject you so easily? No. I have a man, sorry, no. Men don't do that. It takes a lot for a man. In order for a man to reject a woman, he got to dig down in the depths of his soul to say no to a woman. Because we're so programmed to say yes to females, to open the door for females. While on the other hand, females will throw you under the rug without even thinking about it. It's like an instinct. They don't even gotta think about rejecting you. It don't hurt them. They don't have no guilt conscience when it comes to men. You think that when a woman rejects you, she drives away feeling guilty? No, she drives away feeling uplifted. She feels good about it. Women reject men constantly, 24/7. Men don't do that to females. Men give females way more chances because a man, he's trying to get a sexual opportunity with a female. So he's not going to be doing too much rejection. Men reject in another kind of way. We reject in our mind. Like we'll look at a woman and decide not to step up to her. But we don't externally reject the woman with coldness like that. We don't do that. Women are the ones who externally reject you. That's how females do, man. They don't give a damn about your feelings. I'm telling you, man, when you fall in love with a female, you are not falling in love with that woman. You are falling in love with the game. You falling in love with her. Really, it's not even you falling in love. It's her accepting your application and playing along with your fantasy. For the moment, it's just for the moment. But when things start to fail, meaning she don't see any more purpose in dealing with you, and you're not the man she thought you was because you're not living up to these expectations, whether it's money or whatever. She starts seeing little chinks in your armor. She's going to leave you, and when she leave you, she going to take you to the bank and get as much money as she can out of you. That's just what it is. Women are taught to survive. They're not taught to love. The definition that women have of love is different than the definition that men have for love. Just like this HPB realm itself, everything that they define is different than how people with souls define it. They define success different than we do. What makes them happy is material things. Like it's a different specification for them and us. Be not deceived. The truth is not mocked. Any more questions? Any more questions? Someone wrote, a woman with a soul is rare, dude. And really, anybody with a soul these days is rare. You see, the main thing with women is this. Women were not designed to be choosing the men who they date in the first place. The world gradually got up to this state that it's in. You see what I'm saying? They always had that. What now? No, don't get me wrong. That potential you see in them was always in them. Just like a garden. It always has the potential to go wild. It always has the potential that weeds will grow up in the garden. That's why the man was meant to be the gardener. But see, since the time of the great falling away, because truth got overran with all of these lies and everything, the real man was replaced with the artificial man. The artificial man, he wants the world to be in the way that it is because it benefits him and not the real men. See, this world right now is ran by wicked men and wicked females. And they use the wicked females to, like the guy had, like the Jag had asked earlier, are women a serpent? No, they are used. They are used to go against the real men. But fake men, they don't have no problems with females. See, when you look at people in relationships that don't have a soul, like you might see a man and a woman and it looks like it's going right, but you, the person with the soul, like myself, it don't ever go right because you know why? We have souls. See, these men and women that don't have souls, it looks like it be going together like perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have souls. They don't have no complaints. His mind, mental philosophy is just like hers. But when you got a soul, you can start seeing things in the person. And when you start seeing things in them, they notice that you see things in them. That spirit inside of them. And that's where that division comes from. Your spirit in opposition to their spirit. But when you see these HPB couples, they have the same kind of spirit. And they flow well together. Because they both are females. He a female and she is a female. So the female spirit is the anti-truth spirit. You see? But when she is under the right authority, a woman can be a very beautiful thing. In the right system, you see, the women today are the way they are because they have been tarnished by society. If you take a handful of women and put them on an island and never let them be corrupted by the women of today, the women of Sodom and Gomorrah, if you took little babies and separated them and never allowed these females to watch Love and Hip Hop, Cardi B, none of that Jezebel spirit type of stuff, you could raise a woman up and program her to be exactly how you want her to be. She can be cooking, cleaning, because she wouldn't have no other. See, women are motivated by suggestion. They're creatures of suggestion, not originality. Men are creatures of originality. Females are creatures of suggestion and impression. Because a woman, she carries things inside of her. Her womb can be imprinted by men who sleep with her. A woman is impressed upon. When you having sex with a woman, she not doing the fucking. You are doing the fucking. You the one that's doing the thrusting and the penetrating. She just receiving. You see? So a woman can be programmed to be anything according to the system that she is in. So if you took a handful of women and put them on an island by themselves and programmed them, let's just say we had a Jaguar Nation on an island somewhere. If you take untempered women from birth and raise them up, they wouldn't know anything unnatural about being a woman. To see, a natural woman is totally submissive to a man in every department. Sexually, she'll cook, she'll clean, because she won't know any other way. But the moment she sees a feminist on television, the moment she sees a Cardi B rapping about, yeah, take these niggas to the bank, take these niggas to the bank, get that money, and until she sees something like that, she don't have none of that in her mind. You see? So a woman in her pure state is a very beautiful thing. But when she gets twisted, it's no going back. Once a woman's mind becomes tampered with, it's just like her virginity. Once her hymen is broken, her virginity is gone forever. She can never undo all of those men she slept with. And in the same regards, she can never undo that poisoning that enters her system. It'll be with her forever. So that's why when you're dealing with a lot of these women, you're just dealing with baggage from other men that she slept with. You're not even dealing with that woman. You're dealing with what she heard on TV, what she read on Instagram, what her last boyfriend told her. You see what I'm saying? But it's true. Like every now and then you might find a rare gem. And I can't even say that, because if I really found a rare gem, I would be with one right now. But I'm not. I'm not with one. I'm not even looking for one. I don't care. I just stick to this truth, man, because this is what keeps me going. Sam Raven in the house. What up? Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Any more questions? Okay, Wolf Martin, that's a good question. I like this question. It pushes the envelope. He says, but LSOTB, that stands for left side of the brain for those who don't know. But LSOTB, don't the elites have a depopulation agenda? Now, yes and no. See, the elites, they have a depopulation agenda, but at the same time, they have a repopulation agenda. See, when a person depopulates something, let's take North America, for instance. It used to be Native Americans over here. You can say at one time the elites had a depopulation agenda, and then they have a repopulation agenda. They just remove people and then replace people. You see? So it's really no such thing as a depopulation agenda. It's just a replacing agenda. They kill certain people and replace those people. You see? Let's see. Do we have any more questions? See that gay agenda thing? See that whole gay agenda thing? That's just, it's not really a depopulation agenda. It's an agenda to shun real men. Real men carry the truth inside of them. That truth bomb It's the only thing that can destroy this system. So they want to have a lot of gay men, a lot of lesbian women. They just want to have a lot of people in agreement with anything that's bad, because the more people they have going along with the bad things makes us look less and less important, because their whole thing is democracy, right? The majority wins. So they don't care if the majority votes for the wrong thing or not. It's just majority wins. So if they get, and that goes hand in hand with one of the 6 laws of the human prison bar system, the law of abundance. It's a corollary to the law of abundance, that they have more people thinking unnatural, going against nature, because it only helps them, because it makes us stand out when we speak out. It makes us get charged with hate speech. YouTube is very big on that, hate speech. YouTube will hit you with a hate speech strike for anything. Yeah, that's what that's about, man. So that depopulation thing, no. They depopulate to repopulate. Don't ever think they just killing people. No, they're not doing it like that. They depopulating to replace it with something else that'll be more into their favor. Like, they'll depopulate a group of people and then bring in the children. They'll kill the adults or whatever, and then impregnate the children's minds with a totally different system that is in favor to what they want to do. And they can change a whole generation. Look at today's generation. They've been totally manipulated and changed. The kids today are more homosexual accepting than the kids 50 years ago. And it's going to get worse and worse. And what goes around comes around. You see, this is not the first time. If you go into the Bible, you will read about Sodom and Gomorrah. This is just Sodom and Gomorrah re-emerging in the world today. It's just like the seasons. We just left out of summer, and now it's about to be winter. But the same thing happened 50 years ago. The same seasons came and went. So everything you see has happened before. There's nothing new under the sun. Let's see what else we got. Any more questions? Hey, she just said it all right here and didn't even know it. Now I'm gonna address this, because she asked a question and it's gonna highlight a point. She said, you want a woman to take care of you, the children, and be moist for you. Do you want her to be a robot? Now you see what she just said? She spilled the beans about woman nature without me even saying it. She just told you, men, that she gets moist not because she's in tune with you for you, but because of what you do makes her moist. You see what I'm saying? She just told on herself. She said, you want a woman to take care of you, the children, and be moist for you. Do you want her to be a robot? You see what I'm saying? So what is she now? If a man would get an erection, you see, a man gets an erection, a woman gets moist. A man will get an erection for a female, whether she's taking care of him or the children or not. But as you see, she just told you that women have more criteria than men. And that's what I've been telling y'all men all the while. They don't just love you for you. Like she just said, she's not just going to get moist for you if you're not bringing home money and stuff. You see, You are a slave to her. You be her slave in exchange for sex. She just told you in the question she asked. Even though she was trying to be, even though it was a rhetorical, sarcastic kind of question, she still told on herself. That's why I say, you just sit back and let people spill the beans. That's why I don't get mad at people. I just let people display themselves. And I just sit back and laugh because I'll be like, I told you so. I already knew it. She just told you. It's a package deal when you're dealing with women. The only time you don't waste time with a woman is when it's prostitution. You give her the money, you pay for 30 minutes, you don't waste no time. You already know what's up front when you go into the door. 30 minutes for sex, here go the $30 or whatever. Goodbye. See you. See you next time. But it just can't be that easy with females because females make life serious. A female is a responsibility. It's a responsibility. It's slavery. And the only thing you're doing is raising children to be some employee on somebody's job. Everybody that comes into this world, you're going to die anyway. You're going to end up working for somebody, paying. As long as they got this world system in place, money will be in place, and women are going to require money from a man. That's just how it is until this thing just burns up and incinerates and turns into dust. This is what it's going to be. And it's going to get worse. I'm telling y'all, man. When you have a child, you think you having a child for you, but you're not. You having a child for the system. You having a child to place under the gravity that holds us all down. Gravity claims every child. What you think make that baby fall out of the womb of that baby, of that mother? Gravity. Gravity is an invisible hand that grabs that baby and say, come here, you're mine. It snatches it. So you can say that gravity pretty much is a spirit. Gravity is a spirit, man. You don't see it, but it operates invisibly. It pulls things in. So that's the new thing we're going to start saying. Like, gravity is an entity. It's a spirit. That gravity pulled that baby out of that mother's stomach. I told y'all that this world has all of the qualifications of a prison. Number one, in a prison, you don't choose the uniform you get. They just hand you a uniform. When you come into this world, you don't choose what kind of body you get. You just in the body that you have. In a prison, your area that you can cover is limited. In this world, your area that you can cover is limited. Certain places you can go, certain places you can't go. So technically, based upon all of the qualifications that make some, in a prison, you have people over you. In this world, you have people over you. In a prison, you have a number. They give you a serial number. When you're born into this world, they give you a social security number. You're known by a number in this world, just like in the prison, you are known by a number. So everything in this world qualifies it. The way this world, everything, let me say this right. Every way that this world is set up qualifies it to be a prison. It's just like a prison. In a prison, it's a revolving door. You know how they say they got a revolving door of prison? People leave and become habitual felons. Well, spiritually, a lot of people keep coming into this HPB realm And then what? They have to reincarnate and they become a habitual spiritual prisoner because they never learn what it's about. So even in that, even within that reincarnation of these HPBs dying and coming back and dying, that's the equivalent of a habitual inmate. So you got these habitual spiritual inmates who die, never get the lesson, and keep coming back. So having said all that, you can see how all of these things lets you know that this is a prison planet. Human prison ball realm. Y'all understand? Did y'all understand that? Did y'all understand that? Yep. Hey, y'all, I'm about to end this. Look, I'm gonna leave this up, right? So y'all can go back to see it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna leave this up for those who got in late. Let me do a final roll call. So all of y'all, I'm gonna even call out the women. I'm gonna call out everybody in here. I'm gonna do a final roll call. Shout out everybody who came in tonight. And we're gonna start from the top. 33 people who came tonight. We're gonna give a shout out to everybody, then we're gonna be out. I'm gonna leave it up. Dang, it's a lot of people I gotta shout out. Let me see. Okay. All right, I want to give a shout out to MGTOW Gnostic. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, everybody on here, you should bring 2 people to the channel. Everybody on here, you should bring 2 people to the channel. That's tonight's homework assignment. Okay. Shout outs, Limpets and Periwinkles. Bring 2 people to the channel. Not a YouTuber. Bring 2 people to the channel. Joey G. MGTOW Gnostic. Super Ninja. Everybody I'm calling out. I'm shouting you out. Add us on the Instagram. Bring 2 people to the channel. Neo Thomas. What's good? Space Windu. What's good? Subscribe to the channel. That look like a new name. Spades Window, you must be new, because I'm familiar with these people. Donovan Williams, I'm familiar with you. What's good with you? I've seen you a few times. Vanessa, what's good, Vanessa? Even though you were spewing what you had to say. And one thing I want to tell anybody who got something opposite to say, on this channel, we invite everybody. Like, we accept all applications. Because you're not going to stop anything we have to say anyway, because most of the people on this channel are vibrating on the same truth, or they wouldn't be here. So that's why I don't get rattled by somebody having something adverse to say, because it don't affect me or who I am. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Beazle. Who else? Brian Stiggers. Shout outs. Bring 2 people to the channel. Jewel Pop. Bring 2 people to the channel. Cassandra, we ain't mad at you. In fact, we just use all of these adverse comments as props. We just use them as props to bring out a greater lesson. Truth and Reality, shout outs. And if I missed anybody, shout out to you. This is Left Side of the Brain. Your assignment, bring 2 people to the channel. And if you can do more, bring more than that. And I'll be keeping y'all posted on the next official live stream, when we actually have like a call in and everything. That'll be my next live stream. But these live streams I do like this, they just be impromptu, unannounced. But it's still real good information. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace to all of you who came out tonight. I'm going to leave this up for your viewing pleasure. You can go back and watch it. And this is Left Side of the Brain signing out.